What's going on, world? It's Mr. Dreams to Reality, Coach Justin Ford here with my weekly vlog, jumping on here for all the YouTubers, Facebookers, and the Instagrammers. Thanks for everybody tuning in. This is my weekly vlog. It'll transition from week to week as I plan on having different business owners jump on, different people jump on my show. My show is a wide net of things, right? And so what the vlog is really about, if this is your first time tuning in, and for those at home, this is my journey on making my dreams to reality. And my biggest dreams is to help serve other people in a way that pleases God and helps people become the best version of themselves. So I wrote a book called Just Do Your Job, and the title is essentially misleading in a way that the book is not saying, oh, you just need to do your job the way you may think about it. The subtitle is actually the title, and the title is the subtitle. The subtitle is Just Do Your Job, an action book to unlock the potential within. And what's cool about that, we all have this journey. We all have this power of purpose, and you really understand it as you get older. And I think for younger people, they want to have their purpose defined early, like they're supposed to have it figured out. And if I could give any advice to the younger people, if I could give any advice to my younger self, I would say, man, you're not going to just figure it out today. You're not just going to figure it out in these short years. And when I think back to like, wow, I just turned 33 this year, and the lessons that I was learning at 23, I didn't sit down and reflect on those lessons. And I didn't sit down and enjoy those moments. I was like, what is life teaching me here? And you get in a moment where you're like, I got to get it. I got to figure it out as soon as possible. I got to own a house. I have to have six figures. I got to be a millionaire. And I didn't have a really good plan. This time I have a better plan. There are days where I'm ultra stressed out about things, and it's like, is this going to happen? And I got a chance to meet with my therapist, my first time going therapy. I was always one of those people that's like, I don't need therapy. There's nothing wrong with me, right? And that's one of those signs that you probably should see one. Just and what I would say, it helped. It helped a lot. And the biggest thing that I got from this session is reset. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about resetting and what does it mean to reset, and how we all can take reset buttons in terms of life and saying, okay, what am I doing here? And so in my book, I actually wrote about this, and it's the timing of getting a therapy and getting coaching. So I have coaching, but getting with my therapist who is licensed, and he's done the clinical hours, and he's assessed tons of people. And he's not somebody I know. He's in a totally different state, which was really exciting for me due to the fact for what I want to do in terms of not therapy, because I'm going to recommend that to other people and let them work their journeys. But people who, want to be in a group, who want coaching, as a sports coach, as a basketball coach, mastering the mental game is so important, and getting players to understand how to perform at their best ability. And then at being an entrepreneur and being a business owner, I jokingly posted on my Facebook yesterday that I'm going to change the show title of my show to The Stressed Entrepreneur. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, like and subscribe, right? Check this channel out. What I'm doing is nothing new. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I don't plan to reinvent the wheel. There's millions, and actually the podcasting space is not as big as we think it is. I just think there's tons of people flooded in there, and they're all connected to similar people. And so they feel like, oh, there's so much action going on with podcasting. There's so much different things going on in terms of that. And it's really not. And so here's what I figured out with the reset thing. It allowed me to step back. It allowed me to focus on the controllables, and then I got to listen to a YouTube channel today I got to listen to Myron Golden, who's been a godsend for me. And getting around other people and coaches, I think when people see the elites, they think, oh, they did it all by themselves, and they push through the walls and they're just a superhero. And that's not the case at all. You need people. You need a team. I always say this. I've been saying this in all my episodes. People need four things. They need a mentor. They need a coach. They need a team, and then they need a skills trainer. And then I would say a therapist. You need therapy. I would recommend that. If you don't think there's anything wrong, just go and have a conversation with people. It was very rewarding for me because I was able to see some things from a different lens, and not necessarily the stress lens or the lens of I got to figure this out. I got to make sales. And as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I have to make sales, right? But I also have to provide a product and a quality of service for people and things that they want. And so when I decided to do this community content, I'm doing this for people. And it's easy to get off track with who you're doing things for. And that's why the reset button is good. That's why the reset conversation was good. That's why having that discussion with my therapy guy was good, because I was able to see some other things from a different perspective and a different lens. And, doing all the different roles that I do in my day-to-day job, which, just from, professional boundaries, I don't like deep diving into that because that is my work side of things. And so I leave that work side. From a business perspective, understanding how it is, I deal with people in the day-to-day, being really intentional. When people interact with my comment, like today on Instagram, and shout out to, the gentleman that's messaged me, and I appreciate it. And I'm in work mode right now. So, I'm going to try staying in work mode. But whenever I tune out, I'm going to go give him a follow and shout out. But, that's the biggest thing is when we're doing things for people and we're serving other people, understanding, okay, how do we deliver on that every single day? And the biggest thing is being consistent with the message and being consistent with the things that we're doing. When I first started doing the YouTube thing or doing content, I wasn't good at it. I was showing all my passion, and I was yelling and screaming, and I still get passionate and fired up. And it's learning how to practice your speech. It's doing the preparation. It's doing the things that require you to be great. How many reps? And so when I coach athletes and when I coach people on there, I'm like, how many reps have you got now? How many videos? And I just started doing videos this year. I've done videos for 6 years, but this is my first time really being intentional about my videos. This is my first time being really intentional about my content, and not necessarily making content for me, but making content for other people. And saying it's okay to fail. It's okay to be bad. It's okay that the world is going to crash down around you, and you're going to be okay as long as you have your persons intact. And as long as you're able to get up and pursue this thing, that it's going to be okay. And I think for me, it's taken me 4 or 5 months of being on YouTube and being on video, not being good, and prep myself for work. So as I get ready to bring these entrepreneurs in and I get ready to talk to them, I can have good conversations with them, and I'm prepared, and I'm not fumbling over my words. And it's taken some time. Some of the big techniques that I've learned is pausing, the pause, and giving yourself a second to get your words together, because sometimes our mind is racing faster than our words are coming out of our mouth, and we just word vomit, right? And so I'm really good, or been really good at word vomiting, and so being better at my speech, and then being better at how my delivery comes across. And so I have a lot to work on, and it's exhausting, man. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people that says, oh, just do these 3 magic steps. No, that's no. Okay, there are 3 magic steps. Get up, do the work, do it again. Get up, do the work, do it again. 3 steps. There you go. You want 3 simple steps? Get up, do the work, do it again. And if we make it that simple, and it is that simple, I know it's complex. You're like, well, it's not that simple. It is really this simple. Get up, do it again, and do it over, right? And so I had to go back and I just lost my train of thought there because I was thinking about um, a different conversation. But get up, do the work, do it again. Get up, do the work, get it again, do it again, right? Get up, do the work, do it again. What does that mean? Get up first is the first step. Meditate, pray, clear your mind, whatever you got to do. Then do the work. Then forget about it, and then do it again, and then assess and see where your gaps in performance are. And so I think for a lot of time, we see these viral contents and we see these people doing all these great things. And so I had a conversation in my show on Wednesday where the guy was like, I've been doing this for 6 years and he's only 20. So I was like, man, you're ahead of the game with this. And my host was like, oh, I just feel so behind. I said, you're judging his race to yours, and your race and his journey are two separate things. So I think, and I know this is true, that comparison is the thief of joy. And so I don't recommend people comparing their situation. Life is very frustrating. I'm going through a frustrating season right now. And I got to listen to Myron's podcast today about limiting doubt or no doubt and the belief system. And so what was cool about that, it was just perfect timing of me getting ready to release this show, my vlog, my weekly vlog. So my weekly vlog is a combination of life, entrepreneurship, career advice, reflecting on the week. And I've been so antsy and rushing the process where I'm like, I want this to happen right now. And God's like, you want something to happen right now and you're not prepared for it. And, after having that session on Friday, it was relieving because I was running away in fear in terms of uh, exposing myself to an individual I don't know and shaking those skeletons out the closet and all of the stressors that come with life. And it was nice. And so this title is reset button, or reset something in there. And we'll see the Riverside app AI application will come up with the title or whatever. But I feel lighter. I feel better, and I just thank God for even in my disbelieving moments and seasons and moments of weakness that God, Jesus was able to strengthen me, and God able to continue to put in front of me and show me the things that I needed to see. And so I feel really good about the next direction. I feel really good about the next season of my life in terms of my goals and aspirations, because it's not about me. What I'm doing is not about me. My thing is deeper, and I see an opportunity to impact the world. I see all of these creative things, all these silly things going viral online. I was like, well, and Mr. Beast does a really good job. Shout out to him. I don't know if he'll ever see this video, but give him his roses. His philanthropy and the things he does to help and give back. I'm not going to say give back, just him helping other people and serving other people through his content. Everything he does is very cool. And that was another motivator for me. It was like, okay, Mr. Beast, I see you. I see the beacon, like the bat signal. Let's do this. And if we get more people shining their light and more people doing those things, that's why I believe mentorship is so important. When I started this, and I still believe it, I may not post it every day that, hey, I'm mentoring this kid, or I sat down with, because not everything is meant for social. That's not what social media is about. Social media is storytelling. It's telling your stories. It's telling your life as a vacuum, not just the highlighted moments where, oh my gosh, I made all these sales and now I made 0 sales. I haven't made sales in a couple months and I'm stressed, right? And we all know there's people like that, and they're just posting their wins to drive the clickbait, right? Oh, look at my wins, look at my wins, look at my. I'm here to tell you, man. Like, I haven't had any sales last month, which is fine. Oh, I had 1 or 2 sales. I haven't had any sales this month, and I'm not worried about it because that's not what. And of course, in business, we're about getting sales. To stay in business, you gotta get sales. So this is not me saying, oh, don't worry about sales. No, definitely worry about the sales. But when you're doing the thing, when you're doing your process, are you doing the right steps? Like right now, I need to get better at lead generation. I got to get better at lead generation. So guess what? I got to get up. I have to do the work, and I have to do it again. So to figure out How do I do a better job of lead generation? How do I develop products, shirts and hats and things that people are going to want to buy? And so the reset word was great, and just understanding there's some things out of my control, and just taking life different, and really trusting on God, leaning on God, and saying, you know what, God, I'm really not in control of anything, and I'm trying to control things I have no business trying to control. And thank you for being here and guiding me, and then it's cool. And so I'm over my 12 minutes. I like to keep these between 10 and 12 minutes. This one went over a little bit, but I'm also live, and I'm doing this for practice. The better I get, and I noticed today that I'm better. My speech is better. I'm a little more clear. I'm a little more focused. And whatever you're going through, I'm gonna pray for you. I believe that God is, can use your light and your greatness. And it's not always easy, and doesn't just magically happen overnight. And I don't care how many times they tell you, do this in 3 months. And it's just going to happen. It's not, man, like, it's just not going to happen like that. It could, it really could, if you're just the rock star. But most of the time, people that you think are viral and they just magically came up out of night, they've been practicing in the background. They've been working on their speech. I've been intentional about going out in public. I can't wait for my suits. I'm actually getting ready to get into the suits game. Here's why I'm getting into the suits game. I'm getting into suits games for guys who do want to dress nice, but they don't know where to start. Or they feel icky about going into JCPenney's, right? And they're like, I don't know if I should buy this suit. And so I'm changing my game up. And I've been a suits guy. I just got away from it kind of because I was being lazy. And I'll just be honest with you. I was being lazy. And because of stress, I was really stressed. And I was exhausted, mentally stressed. And I was heavy on all those things. And I'll be honest with you. Thank you, man. I appreciate those kind words. And heavy. I was heavy on that. I was heavy on distress, and I didn't know it. And I feel lighter. And so that's our show for today. I hope everybody, do me a favor, like and subscribe. If you enjoy the content, share with one person. I don't need you to share it with a million people. I need you to share it with one person who resonates. One person who says, you know what? I feel this guy, and it's so relieving. And whenever I found those people that made my aha moment, I was like, oh, I love this guy. This guy is really good. That was the best for me. And so, Shane, I want to thank you for engaging and giving me somebody to talk to while I was doing the show. And so I've been practicing a lot with my speech, working on pausing, working on, before I speak, getting my thoughts together. And say, I did one, so I want to count how many times I did, getting my thoughts together and be able to, put those thoughts in consecutive orders and not pausing. I-E-I-O, catch a tiger by its toe, right? And so being more intentional with my words, and the more intentional we can become, and I told my cousin this a couple months ago, become ultra intentional. And when you become ultra intentional, life becomes a little bit different. I will say I put a lot on my plate, and because it's never enough, it's never good enough, it's just not. And so when you're a high achiever that way, you tend to bottle it all up and try getting all your directions done. And so I feel good. I feel light. Reset. For anybody at home, I recommend therapy. I can't wait for my next session. I am going to start doing some group coaching calls, not at that level that of a therapist, but mentality coaching, how I overcame adversity, how I overcome doubt, how I overcame losing my parents from a early age, overcoming the death of many family members, and to bottle up that energy from an angry kid, to take my energy and put it into something productive like the game of basketball. If it wasn't for the game of basketball, I would really be struggling. And so God blessed me with the opportunities to have great coaches and mentors. And this is why I stress mentors, coaches, skills trainer, and now therapists. I stress that. Made this video, how to reset. That is how to reset is going to be the title of this video. How to reset. how to bounce back and clear the mind when life is stressing you out and everything is feeling like pressure. But here's the thing I would say, and I didn't say this, I got it from Eric Thomas, and it makes sense more today now than ever before. Pressure, right, creates diamonds. And if it cracks, it's not a diamond. And so go look at his video, Pressure Makes Perfect, Pressure Makes Diamonds. That's Eric Thomas, Myron Golden. Those are all great things. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. Be blessed. Until next time, I'm hoping one of my business owner friends is able to jump on later today. We plan on recording the show at 3 today. Hopefully, if not, this will be up on YouTube between 4 and 5 p.m. And then hopefully we can get that show recorded and it'll be up on YouTube on Monday at 4 and 5 p.m. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. Like I said, you don't need to share it with a million people, but share it with somebody that needs this message. Peace and have a great day. And peace out, world.